Hi, I'm Chase Baker. I'm a creative director in the outdoor industry, which means I spend a ton of my free time looking at advertising. Some good, some bad. So let's look at one more. On this go around, we have a full page print ad from Rambo Bikes. I have a little bit of a mixed opinion on this ad. I think it makes an interesting use of the space in that they've intentionally cropped this image vertical. It's cropped a little bit more narrowly than the ad space itself, which gives it a little bit more dimension and allows this gray band has kind of a topographical map texture in there, which is kind of interesting. The map texture also overlays the image, which probably actually has higher contrast. They probably could have flipped that around for my taste. One of the things that stood out to me though, paging through a publication, seeing this green frame, it was kind of a page stopper with a very well coordinated color palette. I think the color, and maybe it was graded. It could have been a heavily graded image to achieve the look, but the background, the context of the photo fits really well with the color and tone of the product itself. It feels like everything blends very well together. Now, it is a little bit lower contrast. Back here, there's a hunter walking away from the bike, and at a glance, I didn't even notice that the hunter was in there. It took me, that was maybe one of the second or third things that I noticed after I looked at the ad for a little bit of time that I noticed that there's a person walking away from the bike, probably going to, sit in their tree stand. I thought it was a little strange that they kind of start with the .com. It's maybe not the top of the hierarchy because visually you see the product and then the headline, so maybe it's still technically the bottom of the hierarchy of importance, but it is kind of strange that that's at the top kind of all by itself there. Not bad, but a little bit unexpected, and maybe that's what they were going for. Logo's not really in an anchor position, but it is scaled down. You do tend to, come down to the headline. It takes you places you've never been. You do come to that first. Is a little bit lacking of a call to action. I'm not really sure what they want me to do from this ad. Now, one thing I did notice that if anybody watching this wants to punch in these coordinates here, they list coordinates in the ad. I'm not sure if that's a brand thing that they do on a regular basis, but I'm kind of curious what this location actually is. Is that Rambo headquarters? Is that a world-class hunting destination? Where is that? I thought that was kind of interesting there. It didn't hook me in enough for me to actually punch that in, but if anybody's watching this wants to punch that in and leave in the comments what that location actually is, that could be kind of interesting. So overall, I thought it was a pretty successful ad, maybe a little bit of room for improvement. As far as kind of the hierarchy or the call to action, but I think visually it's a compelling piece, and it was compelling enough that when I was paging through a publication, I stopped and cut it out. So there is some interesting stuff going on here, and overall I do think it is a compelling ad and will be effective in continuing to get their brand out there.